That's right, 14 minutes past 8 op a Maandag ochtend. It is that is Sunny Boy with Madalama, featuring Glow DJ and Busy Jojo. And LJ on this one. Oh, is that what he's saying? That Madalama is like my drama. So morning, guys. How's the Monday? Yes. Very cool. Interesting weekend this one was. There was so much happening. We were not on the air on Friday morning, of course. Our regular on the Informanté page, you know that we were at the State House streaming from there. Yes, Friday morning. It's Semi. When Semi is in the studio, things always go haywire.
Yes, so we got a little snippet of the leader, that sort boy Bernardus of LPM will be in Parliament.
Yeah.
A little sneak peek.
This is going to be an
Friday,
interesting
yes.
year. Now, the one thing that obviously we missed discussing on Friday was, I think, late Thursday, we reported our third case of positive case of
Yes.
COVID-19,
Yes.
and we did not touch on it at all.
Yeah, it was a German national that came in from Zimbabwe.
Mm.
Yeah, but he's under quarantine. So
Another imported case.
It's another important
Every-
case.
Stop importing.
everyone's important. But I do understand that the Romanian couple is actually not showing. I think the first time they
But they're recovering.
do another test. So I think we have sound issues.
Oh, so you don't have audio. So right now we're just talking. Uh-huh. It's fine, I won't push it up here. But in any case, at least that means the virus, as far as we know, has not spread to the local nationals yet, which,
As we know.
yes, which would be good. Hey, go have your conversation outside. You can't have a conversation in the studio.
Sediments.
Black Suns. All right. Good morning to those of you that are also joining the live stream on our Facebook page. It's been a crazy weekend. All right, Maria, let's get into the weekend.
Let's get into the weekend.
Let's get into the weekend. Let's talk about the inauguration. Of the
Start
swearing in.
with Swart Boyman. He said something very interesting. He said,
Sorry, I think it's confusing me now.
Yes,
Your sound
your audio. You guys are misbehaving today. Never leave, so as you are.
nevertheless, he is on. He
Actually,
said
I
something
think it would
about.
have been worse with Neville.
He's busy watching from home. I wonder what he's going to say. Oh, we are waiting for your first comment that you never.
Yeah, he's isolating himself. So the Swart Boy comment of combining fish rod with COVID-19 was.
Yeah, but that's what. But initially he called fish rod swapper. I don't know if we had a video. of
I
it.
wasn't watching the stream on Friday
no,
morning. I was
but-
in
No, it
the
wasn't.
studio.
Yeah, it was a clip that was taken by one of our reporters. As soon as the camera came to him, he said, "Yeah, supper fish rod, supper fish rod." So he started then already, and then just goes on. I think the emphasis was more on fish rod than on corona. And I know
Corona.
people were like, "How
Yeah.
can you say that?" But I really think his emphasis was on fish rod, because he also had said called them fish rod swapper. And then obviously there was some people, because he said, let's take it outside. And it wasn't clear who he's talking to. If he's talking to the person that was defending Doreen, or he was telling Doreen, let's take it outside. Take it outside is let's go fist fight.
Yeah.
And there were some opinions that that's a bit too aggressive for a woman. For me as a feminist, to be honest, I just think it's how he talks. I don't think it's necessary. See, it's an issue if he does it because she's a woman. But that's just I would say, SWAT voice way.
Yeah.
You know, like it wouldn't have mattered who it is. You would have even probably told the president, let's take it outside. You know? That's actually the
I think
president.
the president would have said, let's go.
Hey. Stubborn Damara. But
Yeah, so
interesting.
it's going to be interesting. Cabinet. They also got a little bit of a blowback, of course. It was like 96 cabinet members or parliament members, also with their staff. So way over the 50% quota that was set up by the president.
Yeah, well, just to, I know some people made that comment, but if you go back to the presidential decree, he said unless they are working. So he was going to make exception for his cabinet because they do need to meet, and for MPs in this case. You understand?
Of course, that was also an issue over the inauguration itself.
You see, the inauguration for me is a different ballgame altogether, because he went on national television and cancelled
Events.
in the Independence Day celebrations.
Yeah.
But what he really meant to say was he's just moving the location to something smaller. It's like I feel like I'm still having a party. It just won't be.
Now it's a bit more exclusive.
Yes, it's a little bit more exclusive, but anybody could anyway go.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's not like, I didn't feel like watching that. I didn't feel like celebrations were cancelled. I just felt that they changed location to a smaller venue and therefore downsize and scale down. But there were still celebrations because you still had the parades. You still had head of states coming in. You still had all the ministers, previous founding and his predecessor, all there. My thing is, when he said it, and I'll be honest, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. When he said it's been cancelled, we're going to have this at a hotel or at State House, soon to be announced, I genuinely thought he's going to have a television there, like NBC live broadcast with his crew, him and the Chief Justice who has to do the oath with him. And that's it, live broadcast and maximum 20 people in the room. The journalists, there would have been probably a photographer. I really thought there would be a state photographer taking the pictures and disseminating those pictures to the media houses, and the rest of them in the statements that were read, distributed to, and then the media pulls from there and publishes from there, and also maybe from what they watch themselves on television, which would have been live broadcast. That's what I thought, and if we're being honest, that would have been the responsible way to do it.
Yes, of course. I mean, it's interesting because, like, the weird part is, it's like now a state of emergency in SADC, right? And then we had all these officials from around the region flying in, some of whom are living in countries where they have completely, basically stopped officials traveling across the borders. For instance, I think the nurses union in Botswana decided that their president must go under quarantine because he basically broke his own decree.
Yeah, Masisi. Masisi was put on isolation by the director of health services in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Malaki. But more interesting, I also found on Wednesday last week, right, the presidential decree of JLO, which is João Lourenço, was read on national television in Angola, in which he said he's closing all the borders, no flights are coming in, and that nobody's going out either. Like all diplomatic travels, whatever, grounded for the next, at the time he said 15 days.
Then
Homie, exactly 4 days later, 3 days later,
he's flying into Namibia.
it's in Namibia,
Jet setting.
elbow bumping with our president. I'm just like, do we take ourselves seriously?
And remember, all these guys, each one of them is traveling with an entourage. They're not gonna rock up here alone with just one or two people. It's like
It's
like
bodyguards,
a
it's the wife, and somebody from the cabinet as well. They cannot travel alone.
Yes, and not to be dramatic. Really, I was in China with this youth event, so there were a lot of
before
youth,
coronavirus.
Yes, before Corona. This was last year, October. But we formed friendships with people from across, like youth leaders in politics across the globe, right? And when they saw that, all of them were texting me like, "Is your president serious?" Because some of them were even Italians that said, this is fundamentally breaks every single rule of fighting this virus.
Yes.
You do not have events of that magnitude. Nobody in the world is currently having events of that magnitude with 400 plus people, but you're the president who's supposed to set the example and set the tone. For me, it's about setting the tone, right? Because that same night, my neighbor was partying. Came to knock on my door, Valini Sam called me. I said, are you guys crazy? What the hell, no?
It's like, hey.
And he was in South Africa just a week ago.
It's independent.
It's like, no, but our president was also there celebrating. It's less than 50 people. We are 20 or something.
Yeah.
I said, no. But you see what I'm saying, the tone. So other people thought it was okay to do it as well.
Let's talk about the precautions that were taken, because I was talking to Shines and he said nothing, no sanitizers, no
sanitizers were there.
They were there.
And also, by the way,
and the distance between the ministers, the social distancing was just not done. It's like when sentence to Makaran.
Yeah.
And we're coming from different countries. Affected countries for that matter.
Yeah, Shine said he wasn't screened, but I spoke to other people that attended. They said they did have their temperature checked. So I don't know if Shine's was an isolated case.
Yeah.
Because everybody I spoke to said, no, we had our temperatures checked.
Where did you sneak in?
Yeah.
Why didn't you enter through the official?
I walked through the
ports
guy
of
is
it.
like, oh, come on, quickly.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's an isolated. I was quite upset. I even put it on social media. I'm like, they didn't test this, and people were like, everybody that commented was like, no, all of us. And I checked, other people had their temperatures. And of course, then I made a point where, well, if one person was allowed to come in without their temperature checked, but then also the other side of me was like, maybe Shaz is trying to be dramatic because he wants to stay at home. So I don't know. Because everybody's saying they were screened. But apart from all of that, that's not the point. I think even if you are screened, we know there's an incubation period. And that is why the Romanian couple was able to bring in that virus here, because they didn't show signs. So it's not good enough. And yes, elbow fisting, but then they lean in to talk to each other. It's not good enough. Then a parade.
They're touching each other the whole
time. 5 parades
it's
this close to each other, not social it's not good enough. I'm sorry, none of it is good enough. That's why Botswana's health minister was like, not on my watch.
The venue itself looked like, because most people that were watching thought it's Independence Stadium.
Hey. Shines. And then you guys like saying I swear a lot on air. Maar julle soek me elke oggend dis. Jy soek. All right guys, I think the sound is fixed now. Danke dat die Shines.
Duncan.
You know, on a much lighter note, guys, why isn't Dilimani still performing at every Independence? Why isn't Dilimani still the band, guys? Aren't there other bands in the country?
Yeah, no?
And it's not like they're the best band we have in the country.
But that's the only time they get to perform.
Man, they perform by yourself.
Yeah, and this is like a big event for them. Since they start and they end the event.
It was even the drama of Dilimani saying, no, we were screened. We were tested.
Oh, man. But it's interesting. Okay, another, of course, revelation from Saturday morning was the brand new $30 note from Bank of Namibia.
Yeah, it was his last gift before he was moved to finance. Like, as the governor of BON, this is my parting gift to you. The 3 heads of state.
3 heads of state on one
there,
note.
on the money.
I want to see that note. When will they
But
be?
it's an odd number, right?
Yeah.
Like, who carries $30? Come on, guys.
It's going to be weird, though. But I can't wait to see, to actually hold
like
and see
drama.
what it looks like.
I like.
Yeah, no, but $30 is good because somebody took Kapana is no more 20.
No, Kapana will start at 30.
No, we will adjust. And things
We'll
are now, a
adjust.
lot of things are like $29.99 now.
Yeah, like no, just make it 30
Then
bucks.
you have to make your 50 small. Like, give me 20, 20, 10. You don't have to do that anymore. Just
20.
I wonder
give me
though.
30, 10. 20, I mean.
Will it still, will it be, but anyway, Namibian money only works inside Namibian borders.
But
it's not like
You on the outside.
it's a
it's
limited.
like, will this
percentage.
30 be accepted? Will it be accepted outside of Namibia? This $30?
But it's limited, eh?
Yeah.
So
It's a limited
it will
edition.
probably run out after
No, but they'll be in
they'll
circulation.
be in circulation.
Like,
What-
remember the $10 coin? They're still around.
Yeah. No, they'll be in circulation. What it means when you say limited edition, it means it only get
Printed
printed
one.
once.
Yeah. But it's good. The notes at least are going to get old and they're going to start disappearing from circulation. Unlike the coins are staying forever.
Imagine we love the 30 so much. We are like, we demand for more.
That's if you're Maga 20, Nick.
Ah, yes, no, Maga 30, bro. That's the new. All right, and also, I guess the big one was the appointment.
Yes, the new
The
appointments.
appointments to cabinet.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know many of these faces.
You don't?
No.
All right, read them out and I'll try and give background.
Peter Hafeni Vilo.
Yes, he's at defense now. He's Emerald. Is that what they're called? What is the
Marshal?
title? No, it's the Emerald, I think. That's what they're called.
It's not a marshal.
No,
Nee,
I
wacht,
can't.
julle.
Honestly, I cannot.
In fact, I will say, I'm sure Chris knows him because volgens dimensions must know. Some does so.
Chris was for a long time in the army. Chris was born in the army.
Yeah, Chris was born in the army, but in all fairness, I think he's the one person I'm not familiar with
On the list.
on the list. Yeah, everybody else I kind of,
Who was removed there? Yandako, yeah.
Well, a lot of them was.
lot
This
of
is
No,
what
I mean from defense.
Or defense was Charles Namolo.
Okay.
But Charles
Yeah,
is
Namolo.
Charles is
No,
gone.
Charles Namolo was safety.
Safety
Yeah,
and security.
it was safety.
Oh, those two was merged. Those two.
Yeah, Ndakolo was
Defense
defense.
and then safety and security.
Yeah, Ndakolo
Yeah.
was,
Sorry, Penda Yandakolo was defense.
was defense, yeah.
Charles Namolo was safety and security, but now they've been merged. That's why I'm saying, who did he replace him? I'm confused because he replaced actually both.
Both of them,
Both
yeah.
of them were merged into one.
There's also Lucia Ipumbu.
Yeah, she was a
Yeah,
deputy. She was a deputy minister previously, so she's first time in cabinet. But yes.
But quite a lot of ministers went out, eh?
Yes, so what I was going to say is, let me just say that, first of all, I just want to be clear. What is this guy's position? Because it's starting to bother me. And it's an emerald. It's a rare emerald. Peter Hafeni Vilo. That's his.
Rare Edmund.
Yeah, rare emerald. The ones that, the cabinet that.
Safety and security is not merged with defense.
What is it?
Defense is merged with veteran affairs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
Safety and security with home affairs.
Yes, that's correct. Just to correct,
Thank you,
people
sir.
can't hear. Defense is with veterans, right?
Yeah.
So, and
Safety and security is with Home Affairs.
Weird combination, but yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So yes, the people that are out of the cabinet, those that face the chopping block is Penda Yandakolo, who was at defense. Chekero Twea, industrialization, Stanley Simata, information communication, and Obed Kanjode. Where was he after he was moved from mines? Where did he go?
Wasn't he at presidential affairs or something?
Where did Obed go? I can't remember. Okay, anyway.
Too many movements.
And then, and also the former deputy ministers Maureen Hinda and Peter van der Walt also did not make the list.
Okay. Of course, Ipumbushimi has been moved to finance.
Well, not moved, he's been appointed.
He's been appointed.
Oh, yeah.
He came from the bank, so
Move from.
central bank.
That's also a political appointment. In any case, Tatekali has been moved to
Yeah, Kali has been moved to agriculture.
and land.
and land. Oh, what were you saying?
No, there was a joke that people said, Joe, a German is now the minister.
Of lands.
Agriculture.
And a lot of people change.
We are never getting back our land.
Yeah, initially people saw it as a demotion, which I didn't understand why.
I also
because-
kind of felt that way.
No,
to be honest.
agriculture and land is a very, very important portfolio.
Yeah.
First of all, you need to understand that for a country to become self-sustainable, you start with agriculture, right? That's the place to start. And land reform is the biggest policy right now. Anywhere where there's revolutionaries, whether it's in South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Botswana not because they were not really colonized, but anywhere else with all the revolutionaries, they're calling for land. They want land back. Give us our land back, right? That's the
movement,
that's the
actually.
message right now, right? So it's a very important portfolio. I didn't feel like Utoni was doing. In fact, it seems like nobody has the guts to get rid of Otoni. Not Nuyoma, not Erastus.
Yeah.
Because he's still there. He's now at Labour and Employment Creation. But, he's still in the cabinet. Very disappointing to see.
Okay.
But yes, so Akali is at land reform. It's not a demotion. It's a it's one of the most important portfolios actually currently. And obviously was replaced by, I believe, a very capable person, which is Ipumbushimi. Very, very capable.
I can imagine Kali at those meetings telling them, we want our land.
No, it will be. That's what I'm saying. I promise you, Bernardo Swart Boy will not have his foot off of Kali's neck. It's going to be tense in that parliament.
It's going to be interesting. All right, another interesting appointment. I think probably the most interesting one was the one of Nudo President Esther.
I don't think so. I think the most interesting was 23-year-old.
Yeah, it was the 23-year-old.
I'm not sure how I feel about Emma yet.
No, Emma is a feminist, a law graduate.
Yes.
Very, very highly intelligent. She even specialized in African feminism at the University of South Africa. So she was always in the student movement. So this is somebody that we saw being groomed from a very, very young age. Clearly always been interested in in politics. Clearly always had the agenda of women and women empowerment and all that. People that know her, have worked with her, like in the student movement, say she's a fierce force. Like she really is. I've been lucky enough to have, I wouldn't say worked with her, but been around her, seen her at her best. And this is a very bright star.
Look, I hope she has a long and bright career in politics. I haven't seen much of her to judge from.
Yeah.
I'm just saying now she has given all the parents a very sharp object to stick their 23-year-olds with.
Yes.
No, but this ICT really has a strong portfolio. I just want to get that. As you were speaking, human rights, all of that.
Well, it's the future it's the future of the country. If you think about where we're headed, it's all ICT related. Everything we're doing now is ICT related.
But
So
I think Semi says what you're trying to say is she's been very active in gender issues and social issues.
Yeah, I think it's the wrong portfolio for her, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But I think the idea is to get one foot in. You understand? And you don't want to start somebody like that. You don't want to give them perhaps the most important portfolio for them. It's a grooming process to kind of get into it, understand a little bit how things work, so that you can eventually grow into her own. And the reason I'm saying for me it's the biggest and probably most singular, most important appointment is because she's the youngest ever in the history. We need to remember it's
23. Yeah.
Prior to that, it was held by Sarah at 27. Who was made National Planning Director or whatever at 27, our current Prime Minister. So she held that title for the longest time. No, Esther said, hold on.
I think 23 should be the youngest anyway in the world.
It's a born free. For the first time ever in the history, we have a born free.
In cabinet.
No, she's not in cabinet. She's a deputy.
Yeah.
In National Assembly.
One foot in the door.
Yeah.
So big ups to all the youth out there. I think the question that all the youth have been asking, well, I get appoint the youth. That's one foot in the doorstep, as you said. So big ups to him for doing that, and I hope more of them will be coming through.
But we're in good. She's in good company because
the memes already started yesterday with. We must first see whose child she is before we start celebrating.
Let's check her background first.
She's in good company because we also have Ina Hengari, who's 24, also in Parliament, and Utara Motu, also 24 in Parliament. These are from the opposition parties, obviously. So she's in good company. It's like it's a little young squatty there now.
I'll check. We will see. Really, we will see how Parliament is like this year. It's going to be interesting. There are a lot of new players.
Having the young females in Parliament, how interesting.
But like I was saying, can you imagine that? Can you imagine being 23 and rocking up like 23-year-olds do, rocking up at like 1 a.m. at home? It's like, your friends are deputy ministers. You are just here drinking.
Just drinking. Somebody said, it was also an interesting tweet I saw. It said, apparently Emma must move out of her parents' house. We cannot have our deputy minister washing dishes.
But that's a lot of pressure for her, eh? Imagine.
I think she's used to the pressure. I think, like I said, she set the bar, unfortunately, like he's saying, for other youth, because now all their parents will pin.
Yeah,
pin
the
them.
parents will pinpoint now.
So
If you
it's
made the right
possible at
decisions in
23,
life,
eh?
you-
It's just you who's making all the wrong
Even
choices.
my friend who is 28, she was like, that could have been me. I'm like, no, girl.
It's okay, just let it go. Interesting. There's also
And the other one, yes. that she was saying.
Yvonne Dausap.
Yeah, Yvonne Dausab, she was at Law Reform. We know she took over from Saki at Law Reform, and now she's taking over again from Saki at Justice. We obviously hope she doesn't fall in the same trap, but she was doing a very exceptional job at Law Reform, so I'm very hopeful that she will keep abreast and she will bring the fire, as I like to say. Also a presidential appointment.
Yeah.
But yes, you are about to tell us about Nudo.
Miss Esther, yes.
Doctor.
Or Doctor.
Esther.
Yes, Dr.
Who
Esther.
is now the Deputy Minister of Health and Social Services.
Yep.
Interesting. She has experience in social work.
She
and
is
stuff.
a social worker by profession.
Yes.
The interesting thing is
She-
before this appointment.
She was my what was that subject that you know?
Huh? Yeah. The interesting
Oh, hey.
thing is.
Social. It's not social.
Douglas is going to call me.
There was a name for it.
Eba has to call me.
Something. But it was that social, basically social skills. class.
social,
She was my
social
lecturer
studies,
at UNAM.
social studies,
Ah,
yes.
no, not in high school.
But the interesting thing is, before her appointment, I was saying, I said, oh, who do I want for gender, right? And then I had even tweeted about it. So this is now before the appointments. I said, it's kind of disappointing that I can't really see a leader for gender. And I said, the only two people I can think of that would work are either Elna Dienda from, the former DTA is now PDM, or I gave Dr. Esther as an example. I said, those are the only two I could actually say that are, because Doreen Soka just does not inspire confidence in the feminist movement. And then, so at least we got Esther at health, works very closely with gender, although I actually think with her social work background, she might have perhaps been better suited at gender. That's just my feeling. But yeah, no, I mean, the way gender is now broken down, it's almost become a nothing ministry anyway. So
Esther and Emma would have done well there as minister and deputy minister.
yeah, yes.
At gender.
Definitely agree.
Apparently Emma's ex-boyfriend is regretting now. He left
saw it
her
like
for
that.
a bartender.
I saw that tweet and I was laughing, you know that meme where the person is kicking the table like, stop, this is Emma's ex-boyfriend now.
You want to start creeping back into the DMs now. It's like, hi. All right, let's read a couple of comments. And apparently it's supposed to be an honorable Emma now. It's not just Emma.
Hey.
Vistorina Madila, agree, Parliament will be interesting for sure. We'll see how the young addresses the likes of Swart Boy. Swart Boy is also sort of one of the youngs.
Yeah, Sopo is a youth,
Yeah.
it's a youthful leader. Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
Swar Boy is on another level.
But
I think
having
he was
him
doing a
in
bit
Parliament
too
is
much,
good.
though.
No, but he started off too much.
Yeah, it was
No,
too much.
no,
This
no,
was just
no,
a
no.
swearing-in ceremony. Like, relax. You don't have to do all that. Let's wait for the first sitting. Like, but I think he also just wanted to show what type of leaders. Like I said, but I genuinely think it was a bit too much too early. But that's just my opinion.
I'm glad I didn't see. Philip Phillips, Kale went to agriculture because he specialized in insects, not in finance. Wait, what?
It's a farmer mouse.
Ek het nou amper iets gesê. Lamek kan Konjashili, Timotheus. I'm really happy that he is at agriculture, but I'm kind of worried about finance.
No, finance is somebody very capable, very capable governor. I need to leave, but I just wanted to say, all in all, great cabinet. I think it's the most progressive one we've ever seen, ever in this country. Very robust. Really did consider people with the expertise and really put them in there. Everybody's represented, all tribes, really, mostly all tribes. He looked at that. He looked at gender. He looked at youth. He looked at favorites, because we all had favorites that we wanted to stay, like the Tom Alwendos and Leon Schusters and Kali Schledweins of this world that we wanted to stay on. He kept them on. So I think they seem to have been, he really did well in balancing his act. And bravo to the president, man. We almost forgive you for that celebration. Opa.
Shines, the sound is fine now. Don't touch it. Shucks, Kluta. Oh, no, Sito Kluta. Ooh. The student extract from UK that Air Namibia wanted to hide should have been aired live on NBC, just like South Africa did. Wait, so we repatriated students from UK. Oh?
Yeah, so some students landed while we were busy celebrating 30 years of independence. It's a KLM flight. I saw while we were busy celebrating, job was busy. Come on, while you guys are busy celebrating, there's coronavirus coming into the country. Yeah, but what happened with all those students anyway?
I hope they are all in quarantine.
Yeah, they did. There was buses waiting for them, so they were quarantined. But I saw quite bad. They were is it where they were quarantined? The building itself, apparently, it's under bad condition.
But all the buildings are under bad condition. It's only Hilton Hotel and the other hotels are like, everywhere else, especially if it's a government building.
It's a lodge. It's an abandoned lodge where they are. But the corona, yeah.
But it's serious, guys. I hope you guys are still taking precautions. I'm almost at the point where I'm not allowing any guests into my house anymore. I've already started filtering out. Some people are spoken to behind the window, not even behind the door. So I stay outside. But
yeah, that was quite an interesting week. What did you have no beer? It was just politics since last week, eh?
It was Independence, man. We even forgot that this was Independence. Like, it was just inauguration. It's like, wait, it's also Independence Day, guys. You're forgetting. Only when I come out Saturday morning and I see everybody's partying, I'm like, oh, it's not Inauguration Day, it's also Independence Day. But yeah, congratulations, Namibia, I guess.
But this is the beginning again. Another video that was making headlines on social media is Itula's.
Oh, the doctor is back.
That one was a funny video. With the Namibian anthem, he's standing, I think, in front of his house. And it was, I just don't know what was that video for though, but it didn't make sense for me. Come I don't see how many
Oh man. Alright, Jimmy Mukweli, good morning, welcome to the show. Robert Dietrich, the flight was announced in the newspapers. They are at Greaters Conference Center. It's Greaters Suka Daikan van the Hills.
Yes, Ivers.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere on that road, if I'm not mistaken. It's actually a dope place. I like the view from there. But in any case, Gertrude Mwahi, thumbs up to our president. He have really done well. Okay, and Josie Motinga balancing the situation is good. Penda Andokolo is about to let it blow. So I'm waiting.
And Dakolo Monet can chill no man.
Guys, I don't know.
He must go rest for a while. I think he chopped too much. And
if you have any experience with the army guys don't come out and just talk, even when you are not in the army anymore, or the police for that matter. It's a brotherhood. So expecting him to come blow things.
But I saw a lot of the deputies have left. It still it raises the question: do we really need deputy ministers?
That is the question I wanted to ask. Now that you mentioned deputies, what is it exactly?
Because I went through the list and I saw a whole lot of names, and I really don't know what they have been up to. You know?
Yes, because imagine if you have deputy ministers, right? And then the minister resigns, but then you bring somebody else from another ministry or another portfolio altogether to come take over the ministry. Then what does the deputy minister actually do? Isn't that supposed to be the next logical step? The person who was deputizing to step up into the position?
And become, that question have been asked all over and nobody get. But we saw some ministers without deputy ministers. I think environment has no deputy minister. It's like he's on his own.
But he has a permanent secretary, Mos.
Yeah,
who runs basically the CEO of the ministry.
Yeah, Justice Public Enterprises doesn't also have a deputy minister. Who else doesn't have a deputy? Ministry of Higher Education for some reason doesn't also have a deputy minister.
But didn't they have one?
I think they did. Finance also doesn't have a deputy minister. Those are some of the minister. Environment doesn't also have a deputy. Justice doesn't have a deputy. Public enterprises doesn't have a deputy. And the minister in the presidency also, that one doesn't have a deputy. So quite interesting to say, why do some ministers, like for example finance, which is one of the big ministries in the country, doesn't have a deputy, and a small ministry like what do we have here? Let's see, health, there's a deputy. Education, like higher education and education, when they one ministry once upon a time.
I think so, and then they got split.
Yeah, they are split now. We have education, arts and culture, and higher tertiary education, higher education, technology, and information.
Isn't that where Dr. Itakanji was?
He's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't change him. He's still there.
Her.
Yeah, her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Itakanji Murang.
Yes, and Dr. Becky Njode was the deputy. I think she got removed as well.
Yeah, she got removed. No deputy anymore. So yeah, that's what's up, man. So we'll see for the next 5 years. It's gonna be an interesting
We'll see how it goes.
ride.
But you guys remember, the president can still shake up his cabinet at any point during his term, I guess. So yeah, we will see. Ivy is saying it was a KLM flight. Yes. When are you getting on that KLM flight also? Coming to confirm things here. What about you?
Where's Ivy? Ivy, where are you?
She doesn't want to say.
It looks like she's in the UK, man.
It's like UK, US, Canada. I've even heard Bolivia from some people somewhere in South America there. I don't know. It's like, did you join Miriam Kabukona's business? Gertrude Mwahi, where have you been? Alfredo is back in the comments, guys. He's saying, boy, Omake to my uncle, Ome's president. Yes, thank you. Unfortunately for the president, it's always damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because I know some people are still going to be coming out taking swipes at him. It doesn't matter what decision he makes. But I'm sure he has grown a thick skin for that now.
Yeah, no, he even came out saying that he's not going to press charges for people insulting him on social media anymore, especially the youth. So he said, I'm going to serve my 5 years. I've been elected, so there's nothing you guys can do. I've got the power to do now what I'm in office, and let's give him a chance for his office term to expire. Probably this will be a good 5 years. It will be a good 5 years. And maybe the fish rod will continue again.
Oh, that's so fish road. We even forgot about fish road. Guys, you know when last anybody even mentioned the Erindi sale? Nobody even talks about it. We don't even know if it's still going on or if it got cancelled or there are still consultations on partly that worry because there's so much happening in the world.
I think with the isolation, social distancing based because of Corona, everybody is just focused on Corona and the way forward. And I think as Italians are really, Italy is in bad, guys. And they are pleading to the rest of the world, saying the only way to minimize the risk and the spread of this self-isolation.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Testing.
And testing. And just knowing who's got the virus and who doesn't. Stay away from public places. With our independence inauguration, that was just something else.
Like even yesterday, people were out in full force. I was asking those guys, I was like, those people who are telling me I must stay at home, they are in their office working, and he's going to get paid end of the month. Me, if I stay home, there's nobody who's going to pay me. Is
Kapana still open?
That single quarters was over in a bit.
But I thought City of Vendo came through and said they are going to close their vending places.
When I was there, when I think Friday evening, when I went past there, and it was open.
Sure. Me, I was even like, I'm not going to
blame me. I stay in the house.
I'm not going to go to Kapana. No. Not at this time.
Because that is also one of those crowded... like you're standing close to people, you are rubbing shoulders.
Shimza had a social, like a party online, an online party, where there were quite a number of DJs. It was quite it's weird.
But it's interesting.
It's
also.
interesting. Have you watched the Daily Show? It's also the same. It's like you're used to having a crowd.
Yeah, because now this guy even makes the jokes and there's nobody laughing. You're
Nobody
like,
laughing.
but that was, there are no people. Kom ek lees 'n bietjie comments. By the way, President Cyril Ramaphosa, who chose to rather deal with the situation at home and not travel, especially himself, to Namibia for the inauguration. It was an interesting decision, a commendable decision, although he did still send somebody, an official, to travel here. But it was, I guess, some
the cases
some
in
form
SA,
of leadership from.
Yeah, the cases in SA, they are doubling every single day.
They are now, I think, at 240 over the
200
weekend.
and something, yeah. And I think Ramaphosa had again a press conference last night. I just didn't follow up what he was talking about.
Oh,
but it's
yesterday.
getting serious, yeah?
Yesterday evening, they were consulting, I guess, the businesses or the business society in South Africa. He was supposed to have a press conference, a State of the Union, or whatever, address the nation, basically. But then they pushed it to this morning because the meetings were still ongoing. I guess the country is really standing together, trying to decide what are they going to do. Because the cases keep getting more, and when it starts escalating, it's going to get worse, not better, if the situation is not controlled now.
If it's not controlled.
Yeah.
What happened? Yeah, and Thingy was also expelled. Itula was expelled from SWAPO just before the whole inauguration started. So it started off on that lane. Sure. That's basically it. Politics all weekend.
It's because they didn't want to come talk about politics.
It's politics all weekend. In, out. There's not politics. So, that's it.
I've been saying no coughing, please. You guys are not coughers. Remember.
I'm good.
Shaks Tiofe Nanyemba is saying you are a Rastafarian. You guys don't take in meat most. People don't buy fish there, brah. at Kapana. That has become, it's probably the biggest form of culture appropriation. Like dreadlocks is now just it no longer means kama if you are having dreads you are necessarily Rastafari.
Yeah.
Sommige mensen net moe geraakt voor haar keer en besluit, hey, let me lock this. Anyway, more comments. Wie is the lucky idiot toch? Take home. Following from Komasdal, from Paul Songa Sikomba, Alfredo Jack, we are in full swing at Debo Kawash. I can't sick. Kanjego said, man, Italy is in a bad condition. I think their coronavirus is very dangerous-ish.
It's on another level. They are to a point whereby the military has to lock down people into their houses.
Yes.
Because people don't listen. It's like stay in home. No.
Nosha Toibo Kapapilo, good morning crew. The newly appointed cabinet and its deputies is a good balanced formation, mix of gender, age, academic, practical experience and skills. Reducing a multitude of deputy ministers is a welcome relief. It will tear down, I guess, the financial strain on the government wage bill. Right, the new finance minister was a natural and a logical option, but he is ethical, but lacks testicular fortitude. Hey. Okay, to scrutinize directives with state house signatures. Right, all in all, the president must be commended for a job well done in especially Justice Minister, Defense, ICT. We still need to see if there will be any meaningful transformation at finance and fisheries. Hage heard you, Omake.
And Peter Kashavivi still retain his speaker post.
Yeah. But fisheries, by the way, what is happening at fisheries? Who's is Kawana still acting?
He's the minister.
Okay.
They officially made him the minister.
So he's no longer at
PG is going to be a professional now.
Attorney General.
Who's the Attorney General now?
We didn't actually hear anything about it. There's going to be a president. It's not going to be a politician anymore. Somebody who comes in to be cheap.
Okay. Ryan Finis is as Nebel op corona leave.
He's op corona leave.
Ja, he's in self-isolation. Ons het hom wat is die plaas se naam nou weer?
Quarantine?
The farm's name, I forgot the farm's name. It's fine. He's an Ali's name. Is jy nog single? Wait, what?
Is Jamie, was je nog single?
Nee, ek is single. Ek was nog nooit single. I was born in a relationship. Oh.
Shines, please, don't play as a song.
Apparently he's trying to tell us to leave the studio. Gertrude Mwahi's, I was Alfredo Jack replying to Gertrude saying, I was busy with interviews at Informanté Radio. I need to replace Neville Basson. That is groot skoene om te veel. And Robert is asking, what about the fish rod $30 note? You can only buy fish with this money.
You know that dollar just got posted when Saturday?
Yeah.
And they already created a fish rod.
Man, I can't wait to see them in circulation though. I think it's nice. It's gonna get us excited about Namibian money again, I guess. But $30 is such an odd number. Like we spoke about earlier on in the show. It's an odd number. I think it's gonna be the first where you have 3 presidents on one note. Normally it's man crazy note me, bro. It's like that.
Man, it's not same but that note great.
The
$10.
10 and 20.
10 and 20. They replaced the but I remember that commotion when that happened. It was another war. And what about Poamba was never on a note, eh? So Poamba is the first time with Hage on a note as well. So big ups to that. And that's what's up. Still just a lot of politics. I can't.
Yeah. Jacob Naftal saying Attorney General is Festus Mbandeka. Shines, you're the law student. Gertrude Mwahi, it's not easy to stay home. Trust me, it's been 2 weeks. I'm indoors and I'm going crazy. In the United Arab Emirates, they are about to spray some chemicals in the air around the country just for the people not to go out. But good news for Chinese, they almost overcame the corona. Yes, China has done a really, really good job to sort of
minimize infection and transmission.
To slow down the spread.
Slow down the spread, That's the way forward for now for all the countries globally. So, Namibians, please. We mentioned that's when they get us.
But an interesting thing that I saw on the news on Saturday evening. No, yesterday night, right? Some of the communities, especially here in Windhoek, are saying that the corona information must be translated into local languages because they don't understand.
They don't understand. At the moment, people really don't understand what corona is. Everybody has their own version. I came across people saying that alcohol kills the virus.
Yeah, I've also heard that.
So people are on that whole belief that no, I'll just drink whiskey and I'll be fine.
Then even in the whiskey will desanitize it in the throat.
So there's a whole misconception about the virus, and more education and awareness need to be taken out to the people.
And that wrong information does a lot of harm, guys. Because, people start acting irresponsibly or start doing some irrational things, thinking that it's actually helping them. In the meantime, it's hurting. Or it's not helping at all. That's the best case scenario, is it not helping at all. Martina K. Mutanga, moro. Jy is ook op corona lief vandag of hoe?
That's is op corona vandag is something also that has happened is the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development has basically requested a supply of water to all residents in respective rural areas, supplements, villages, towns, and municipality. So they came through and said,
water. Yeah, I saw an insert on, I think, Otavi, if I'm not mistaken.
So municipality has been closing down people's water for not paying their bills, but now they just have to open up the water. Like so that's something else again. I know it's a loss for the municipalities, but it's again to the nation because we do need water at this time. What is with the toilet paper challenge, Yuka?
Men say koop toilet paper, but you see, people don't like, especially you guys who are running to go buy it. That is, it's a first world problem.
So almal gaan koop jy toilet papier klaar.
Is die mense is worry van yes, if I have to stay at my home and I can't leave the house, what am I going to do if the toilet paper finishes? Trust me, here in Africa, the toilet paper finishing is the last thing we are worried about. Exactly. Daar's 'n ander plan om mee te werk as dan die toilet papier is. So now people are rushing to go buy toilet paper, bro. Koop liewer die hand sanitizers, guys.
Yeah, I saw shops empty like nobody's business. Like people are buying in bulk and never look at doing it. Yeah. It's a pity he's not here to tell us what shop did he go finish.
I had a box of hand sanitizers. I saw like in the States, right? In the States, people, Americans are also so industrial. A lot of people went to go buy these things in bulk. But a lot of them not for themselves, huh? So ek wil gaan verkoop, that's so because those government gaan besluit, whoop, no more selling of some of these things. So no, jy sit met boxer in die garage, jy kan hulle nie verkoop nie. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's time for us to get out of the studio. Yeah. It's already past 9 o'clock. Meneer Kaufman, next Minister of Agriculture and Lands, is going to join us.
Yeah.
Apparently weed also. So people are fooling themselves, guys. So let's think of educative measures. Yes.
Apparently that's one reason why there's not a case reported in Jamaica.
Jesus. Kama Russia has released 800 lions into the streets to force people to stay home. We have a lot of lions here in Africa. Maybe that's a plan we can look at.
Do you think people will really stay home?
I think especially for, like, I mean, the people I've spoken to, I think maybe they need to see a bit that the virus is a bit more serious for them to start, staying at home and self-isolated. Even at my complex, there was a party. It's like Ian Panikaliki, Klein Meisikinderki, is one of my daughter's friends. It's like I had a birthday. I told my kids they're not going out. It's like, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to go buy you more snacks than they have at the party.
So
you are staying in the house.
You didn't let them go to the party.
Like they've gotten used to it now because it's been like the whole week and a half now.
Don't worry, Namib Desert is on the roads, still making people push-ups. I saw people complaining. But
what is the point of that? Why do I need to do push-ups?
No. I really don't know.
Because that is just, it's, yeah, why am I supposed to do push-ups? I was busy working. Who says like I want to work out?
It's giving you fit.
Nay, I can't buy gym is. I have a gym set at home. I don't need to be doing push-ups on the streets for what?
So trust me, the day will come whereby Namib Desert will force people to stay indoors. Like if they find you outside, you're in trouble. They'll be like, hey, what are you doing here?
Doing 10 push-ups.
10 push-ups.
To show us that you're not drunk. I don't know.
I swear that day will come whereby Kalari will do that, especially on weekends and during the week at night. They will force people to stay home.
We were speaking about I know it's fine. We'll touch on it tomorrow. Guys, enjoy the rest of the day. Of course, always keep it locked to Informanté Radio. You can check out our website, www.informante.web.na, and you can stream the radio station throughout the day. Of course, the videos you can also check out on Informanté or Informanté Radio on Facebook. Right. We're out of here. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Stay corona free.
Check it out.
The Morning Mix.